going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Hi there and welcome to Trash Compactor. This is a different location for this video because I'm going to be doing pop and boil, probably ultimate pop and boil, where I got a load of the Luke Skywalker prototype editions. I've already got a set which I have in my office, but I got these purely to pop and boil them all and put them back together in the block colours, and then I can leave them as they are, or I can paint them to have a range of different coloured snowspeeder pilots. Because I'm in a different location, my lighting's totally different. I've just got my overhead lights in my kitchen because this is where I'm doing it. It's easier to do it in my kitchen than in my office because I've got my kettle for boiling my water. I've got a Pyrex dish for popping the figures in. I would usually use mugs, but because I'm on a video, I want to be able to see the figures in the bowl, so that's why I'm using a clear bowl. I understand you don't have kettles really in the US. This is a European and, well, worldwide thing apart from America. And I think it's got something to do with your voltage system or something, which is why you have coffee machines and you don't really drink tea, which we do in the UK. So because I'm in my kitchen, there is many different sounds and they can be a little bit noisy. And also my dogs get access to the kitchen. They don't get access to my office. So I'm hoping no heavy breathing comes around as my child decides to wander around and show an interest, but she's happily sat over in the living room watching me do this. So I'm going to crack on. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open all my, and again I do apologise for this shadow. If you notice, look at this, it's like multiple halogen lights in my kitchen, so it does look like there's more people here than me, but I reassure you it's just me. So I'm going to open all these up, but I just thought it'd be fun to take these all apart, and I'm going to say try and put them back together, because the thing about these is they're quite hard plastic compared to the original Kenner figures. We'll see what happens. Maybe a total disaster, and this video will stop after this figure and probably never see the light of day, or do you know what, I may actually share it just to show you what happens, but we'll see what happens, because the retro figures, it is a different plastic. It's rock hard. It's not flexible. It's almost like resin in a way. It's just that rigid. It's not resin though. It's hard injected plastic. So let's go with one, because then if you watch, I'll probably pick the one that's hardest to find. I doubt it. These are on offer everywhere. It's insane. So boiling my kettle, already boiled it. It's not really that quick as usual. There we are, boiled enough. We'll go with one to start with. So we will pop him in and leave him for a few minutes. Right, so he's been in the boiling water for a good 5 minutes. Sort of turned him over a couple of times. I've got my little tools. These are various little pliers that are round ended. They're not sharp. They're not going to cut into it. I do like these. And I've got a tea towel. So take him out. I'm going to plunge my fingers in. So first thing is I'm looking for the head. It's definitely softened up. So I've got my little curved pliers, and what I'm going to do is push that in and try and grab hold of the peg. And there we go. Head's come off quite easily. Let's go for the arm. Squeeze that in. Again, just trying to just tease that out without breaking it. There we go. That's all coming out quite easily. Just a bit awkward. See, that one's a bit tough, and what I want to do is be careful that I don't tear it. There we go. Let's go for a leg. More of a breast man myself, but go for legs. Chicken. Oh, there we go. You notice that when you are pulling them out, you see the plastic goes a bit white as it's being stretched, but don't overly force it and it will pop back. So there we go. He is now in multiple pieces. So I've got them all out of the packaging. They're all there. I've just put my water back in the kettle because or in your saucepan, however you're boiling your water. Fresh hot water each time I put the figures in because it does cool down rather quickly. I'm going to top this up. And then let's send them all for a lovely jacuzzi sauna hot bath. I'm going to leave them in there for a good 5 minutes. It's hot. Let the air dribble out of them. And then start taking them apart. I'm going to leave the bodies out because I'm not going to touch those. And then arms and legs and heads are all in there. Fresh boiling water. I'm just going to leave them for a while just to let them relax and settle back into what their original natural form was before I start messing about with them. Once they've had a good 5 minutes, what I'll do is then start squeezing them back into the bodies. While these are softening away, one of the things I was planning to do is I've got loads of retrofit heads that are in my store. And I thought, oh great, I can put the retro heads into the body, squish them into the hole and use my flexi helmets. However, these holes in the bodies are much bigger than the other retro figures, and they're a lot shorter, so these are quite loose. So I've got my peg guide that I use, and even the size 12, which is massive, is too loose. So they have put extreme, look at the size of the leg pegs. They're never that big on Kenner figures. They're much bigger, so if you are transferring other limbs and legs to these, they are going to be a bit loose. So you may need to add some plumber's tape or something like that. And it does seem to be pretty solid right down the middle. So they haven't just made it hollow and stuck a peg in the center of the body. That is solid all the way down. They look vintage. They don't feel vintage. They don't appear to function as vintage. They're very different. Anyway, so I've stuck the red in a lot of ramekin because I want them to be extra hot. I'm going to leave them in hot water, and then each time I put the limbs in, I'm going to add them to fresh boiling water. Right, so they've had a minute. Again, I'm going to leave them in the water while I do this. So here we go. Go with the first one. Still quite hot. Putting arms and limbs in is always really fiddly. What I've done previously with some of the vintage Kenner figures is just trimmed a little bit off the disc to make it easier for them to go in, and I think that's what I'm going to have to do with these. I cannot get that in there comfortably. It just doesn't get soft enough. Twist them and put them in and it just will not go in. It's just no way, just cannot get that in there. So back in the water, round 2. Okay. So here we go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut a small piece off the top at an angle like that. See? Now the idea is that'll give me a little bit of wiggle room to push that in. Go. And I'm not going to have to use the pliers. There we are. In. Absolutely fine. Again, chop a bit off the top at an angle. Ta-da. It's gone in. Still movable. It's in fine. Just allows it to go in. Do a bit with the legs. Again, off the top, tiny little section. There we go. Should give me enough leeway to wiggle that in. It's like corkscrewing it in. Oh, come on. It's always tricky. Yeah. Oh, no. Come on. Get in. Oh, it just will not go in. Gonna need these. We go. Come in. No. Bloody things, come on. Yeah. There we go. That's got to be in. That's got to be in now. Come on. Come on. Yes. Oh, yes, it's in. Oh, let me just move that up here. Make sure it's in. Yep. And we're in. Ooh. It's a lot of effort. You could just paint them. But just wanted to show ways of doing pop and boil. So we are, a little bit off the top. Let's try this one. Hoping it's just a little bit too much on there, but I don't want to shave any more off. It'll affect the way. Push that bit in there. Oh, try not to mangle it too much. Oh, I'm gonna have to stand up over here and do this. Ow, hurts my hands. No, need it softer. Going in. Partly there. Try again. Get that bit in. Get that piece in there. There we go. Oh, come on. Pop and boil is fine for getting things apart, but getting things back together is just a nightmare. I cannot get that in there. My dog's snoring now. Nala, can you stop snoring, please? It's meant to be demonstrating how easy pop and boil is, and this is just demonstrating what a nightmare it is on retro figures. Come on. Ooh, it's very hot. There we go. Wow, that was hard work, and I've nearly wrecked the arms doing that, so I think I'll put the legs in first before I put anything in. The head, oh, I don't even want to think about it. Bloody hell. It's got to be an easier way. There we go. Come on. Get in there. It just isn't soft enough, no matter how much you heat it up without literally putting a blowtorch on it. That disc is just way too big. I'm going to try and shave a wee bit off the peg. See if that makes a difference. It should do, but it isn't. with the head, I'm going to do both sides. So it's almost like a little bar. Let's pop that back in there for a moment. I'm contemplating if this is actually worth it, because I don't know if it is. Oh, are we in? Are we? Go. Yay! Oh my goodness. The legs are very stiff. I think the arms, because I was squeezing them when doing the legs, they've gone a little bit loose. So I think I'm going to put the legs in first and then the arms and then the head rather than arms first, because I totally trashed them trying to get the legs in. So I'm going to stick that back in the water to sit for a bit. See if that'll relax back into its original shape. Yeah, you can see it already. Let's just check that head's in okay. Yeah, totally fine. Yeah. Lesson learned from the arms. Won't be doing that on the next one. I will be taking it from the bottom, not from the top. So that water has properly cooled down. So I'm going to freshly boil water and let's go with we'll do the blue one next. Right. So try and legs first. Again, I'm going to take a little bit off the top here. Hoping that shouldn't have too much of an impact. So we're going to take a tiny little bit off the bottom. Yep, so let's try this. That is nice and soft. No. Oh. Come on, in you go. Woohoo! That worked. Cool. See, practice makes perfect. So, perfect, but definitely practice. So, wee bit off the bottom again. There we go. Little slither off the top. Neaten that up a little bit. Now, let's give this a go. This is definitely softer than the red, so I wonder if surely it can't. It's got nothing. Surely it has nothing to do with it. Surely. And then let's push that in. There we go. Nope, that's not. There we go. There he is. There we go. Ha! Gotcha. Ta-da! That has worked a treat. Okay, so this time I'm going to go take a bit off the bottom, not the top. There we go. Should have a bit of a impact. Right, so that's in place. Now it's a case of pushing it in. Oh, you gotta be so careful you don't stab yourself while doing this. Nope, it's not going in. Will do. I'm using the force. Oh dear, bad puns. There we go. We're going in. Going in. Going in. Get in. Get in. And push. Come on. Come on. Ah, ice cream fan. Celebrating my limb insertion. Yankee Doodle Dandy. Is it? No, Camp Town Late? No, I don't know what song it is. If you recognise it, please leave it in the comments. It's my video, I'll get a copyright strike now because there's some unauthorised music in it. Don't know why an ice cream fan around. It's really not warm here. It's actually quite cold. But that's what happens in the UK. We serve ice cream all year round, even when it's freezing. Oh. Whoa, there we go. Ta-da! And he's in. That's worked. And do be careful when you're doing this. I have put figures together before and then realised I put the legs on backwards when I finished, which is really frustrating. So, head. I'll do the same again. A little bit off the front. A little bit off the back. So it's a little T-bar. And then, here we go. And push. It's like giving birth. Push. Ah, bingo. And the head's in. So we have a blue guy. That worked. So in we go. I don't think I need to repeat showing the whole process. I'll just fast forward through it. I'll still video it, but I'll fast forward through it. So there we go, I've done them all. So the first one was the red one where I took a little bit off the top of the arms. The issue with that, I think they're okay. They're just a little loose and hang a little bit low because the bit at the top's stopping them. Legs are fine. Green one, the bottom, which is fine because it tends to hold the arm in better if you just take a little bit off the bottom. Blue one, you saw that one. And then I stopped videoing and I was like, oh, I'm going to repeat it. Yellow one, absolute dream. Just clicked together, super soft. No idea why. It's got to be something to do with the chemicals. I don't know, the plastic, the chemical composition or the dye. I don't know. I'm not a science person. That was so easy. And I wish I'd videoed that so I could show you how easy it was. And then the next one, oh my God, the purple one was like putting stone in stone. It is rock hard. It just didn't go super soft. It was extremely hard work. The joints are incredibly stiff as well, which is, it's good, but yeah. And then that was medium. That was the last one I did. But that was the worst one of the lot. That was so hard. I do not know why. It's just, it didn't matter how much boiling water I poured on it, just it wouldn't go soft. So there's a lot of forcing, created a little bit of damage on the body because this is rock hard plastic, but it's fine. So I have succeeded in my pop and boil challenge of doing the prototype figures all into single colours. If I'm brutally honest, I really don't think it's worth doing. It's so much hassle. Pop and boiling when you're doing figures is fine on vintage, you know, with all your, you know, beta figures and stuff like that. But I haven't tried it on the Mando or the Chewie or the Stormtrooper. I don't think I would. It might just be easier, just if you do want them different colours, is just spray paint them. Because, yeah, that was a lot of effort. A lot of effort just for 6 coloured figures. I think if it's what you want to do, awesome. I'm glad I've done it. I've trashed my fingers in the process. They've just been so wet for so long. As I'm twisting, because the plastic's so hard, it's taken the skin off my fingers, which is just, it won't hurt, it's just the top layer, but they've just got so wet, like when you're in a swimming pool, and then when they're twisting and twisting and twisting, it's just, yeah, just peeled the skin off my fingers. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's worth for the blue one, because I could then stick in a retrofit head, which I've got to slightly redesign the peg for this body because it's just massive, and when you put the head in, it's really loose, and it would just be really good to sort of pop a painted head in and sort of have like stick a Flexi X-Wing helmet on, which I think would look quite good. And then I could have a range of different coloured pilots, which would be snazzy, because the heads aren't, I don't think the heads are that great. You'd never get an orange helmet and everything. So, you know, if I was going to do anything with these, I think I would paint them and make them look a little bit more authentic, adding the details on the thing. So that could be another video. I'm not going to commit to it and say yes, definitely. What is nice is I do have some spare lightsabers. So if you've got your Balin's skull or anything like that, and, you know, a couple of quite cool, so they'll get used. And then I've got 6 harpoon guns, which really is quite an ugly looking weapon for, you know, what it is. But hey ho, there we go. That's the end of my pop and boil challenge. So I will now mop up the huge pools of water all over my kitchen worktop, dry my hands off, and hope you enjoyed this, and see the nightmare of trying to pop and boil retro figures. If you do give it a go, it would be interesting to share your results and show how you get on in the Trash Compactor group and share your photographs. But, you know, great to see what you do with them. Hope you enjoy this video. Thanks. Please subscribe.
What a piece of junk.